Subscribe to Nigeria's Craziest. Press the bell icon and never miss another video update.
Do you know that only 9.2% of our subscribers click the notification bell? That is just 20,000 of our 200 and something thousand subscribers. That is why you're not getting notifications when we upload a new video. So click the subscribe button, click the notification bell, and click the first option to get all notifications. Don't forget, don't worry, we will not disturb you.
Hello guys, welcome to this FS code. Hey, problem no dey finish for this life. Abi Joshua?
If we tell you that you personally can be the prophet of yourself, you can be the pastor of yourself, you can pastoration yourself to pastoration to the promised land by yourself.
This is a tale as old as time.
Oh, which tale? Which old and which time? Who get the tale? Who get the story and which time?
I'm talking about the story. The story is a very old. It's something that happens all over.
Okay, now you can't get tale. Now you give an tale.
This is a tale like T-A-I-L. Like
what do you say?
T-A-L-E.
Okay, story tale. Story that have a tale. Okay, you no get the one.
Joshua, I don't have power.
Story where they get tale. Oh, anyway. You no get on.
It doesn't have turn. This story that you want to watch now is something that happens to many girls, and it's like they don't want to learn. Women don't want to listen, to stay away from these he-goats that call themselves prophets. He-goats that call themselves pastors.
On this episode, we want to take a look at the prophets Folorunsho Macaulay.
A Nigerian florist.
This young lady went to meet this prophets, took her fiance for prayers. Unknown to her, prophet was eyeing her to use the symboro to destroy her life.
Back to back.
3 abortions.
3.
After raping her the first time. Watch the video when you come back to talk.
Please, you have to calm down. Watch, because the video will help you. If it does not help you to help another somebody.
We don't want to interrupt.
Just watch.
We'll come back. We'll round up.
Yes, although I didn't want to come because I was afraid, but I just felt it's actually worth it for people to really know what is happening out there and how these so-called men of God go about sleeping with women, impregnating them and ruining their lives, and also giving the other people who are out there a chance to speak out, and also letting mothers who are out there who entrust their daughters to men of God, for them to also know that they can't be trusted and the lives of our young ladies out there are in danger if proper measures are not taken against these men of God. And that was the reason why I came out to speak on the behalf of other young ladies and myself.
That's very interesting. How did you meet this Prophet Macaulay, and who is he, and how did he came across you? Because I heard some of the program, some of your revelation on some YouTube channels in London, but at the time a particular guy that was handling it decided to, I don't know, maybe he changed the topic. But how did you came across this Prophet Macaulay, and who is he really?
Some 7 years ago, I went for a program in my brother's church. It was a Redeemed church where he was invited. That's when he gave me a prophecy concerning my life, that by the time I turned 25, that I'll run mad.
You run mad?
Yes, that was what he said. So that there was something I needed to do. So after then, he told us what to do. We actually followed his instruction, and I didn't see him then until later when I joined Genesis Global. When I got there, I saw him coming to the church, and the way he sees visions according to him, he tells a lot of people a lot of things, and people kind of testify to it that he's saying the truth, and the way he goes about doing his vision and everything. So everybody feels, including I, feels that he's a man of God and he's a very strong, spiritual, strong man. So he's been coming to our church several times. Then there was a day, I think in 2018, yes, I saw him I was at Abulegba, so I think a mall, towards a mall. I went there, I greeted him with excitement. He gave me his number. I told him that I've known him 7 years ago. He came to our church, that somebody that had given me a prophecy before and all. So we exchanged numbers. To cut the whole story short, he called me one day and said he wanted to meet my fiancé. That do I have a relationship? I said yes. He said he wanted to meet the person I was. So he told me to come and meet him up at an hotel, which I actually went to with my
hotel?
Havana Hotel and Suites at Gowan Estate. So I went there. So on getting there with my fiancé, he now told my fiancé that I was a good person, I'm a good child. He said a lot of things about me as if he had known me. He said it was the Spirit of the Lord that told him that I'm a very decent lady. He said many things, and he said the guy should not treat me badly. And I attested at that time that no, he's a perfect young man. He now said, we now told him that my introduction was close, like it was 4 weeks close by, that we had 4 weeks to my introduction, that I should pray along with us and everything. So I think that the following week, I think he called me on a Sunday and told me that I should fast on a Tuesday, that there was a revelation he saw. He wants to pray for me about it. So, and I said, can't he talk about it over the phone? He said no, that he had to see me in person. So he said he was coming to Genesis on Tuesday. So I said, okay, no problem. That okay, when he comes, that he should let me know so that we can see and talk about it.
The parishes of Genesis.
The one at Alakoko. Okay. So I was wondering that what kind of, because I was scared, like, hey, hope it's not something bad though. My introduction is around the corner, of which I had even informed Israel Oladele that we were about getting married, that we even needed him to give us a go ahead, because Israel Oladele Ogundipe, prophet in charge of Genesis Global, was actually aware from the inception of the relationship even till that time. So when I expected, I didn't see Prophet Macaulay for Lawrence Shaw at the program eventually. So I was on my way home when his call came in, and he said he was unable to make it for the program because he has another program that he's planning to go for. So I now said, okay, that he now said, and he needs to give me the message that it's very, very important.
And he cannot give you a phone?
He said he couldn't give me the message on phone. So I decided that, okay. And I said, what are we now going to do? He now said, I was thinking he was probably going to say maybe another day. So he now said, okay, can I come and meet him somewhere around Ijoko? That do I know Ijoko? I said, I know Ijoko. He now said, I should come and meet him there. He said, when I get to Songo, I think he said when I get to Songo, I should call him. Okay, he said, no, he said, when I get to Songo, I should call him. But he mentioned Lesoke. That's what Lesoke. That's the way he mentioned. So I now said, okay, that when I get to Songo, I'm going to ask for Lesoke, because I actually felt Lesoke was an area around there. So I just took a bike when I got to Songo and said, I'm going to Lesoke. So it was when we now got there that I now saw that it was an hotel, because I didn't know. I now called him. I was like, hotel ni our, but I didn't feel insecure, because the first time I and my fiancé went to meet him, hotel no ni. We went there to meet him at the hotel, so I didn't have any reason to question, and knowing fully well that he was a spiritual person and was a man of God, I never even thought that he had ulterior motive. So I now said, hotel maybe, but I now said that I should be coming up, that he has a program, and most of the time when they have programs, they lodge them very close to an hotel where it will be easy for mobility for them to access the program, the place. So I went in. So when I got there, he asked me if I was still fasting. I told him that yes, I was still fasting. He now said, I have to break my fast. And I said, that I'm not really hungry, that I'll break my fast when I get home. So he insisted that I have to break my fast, that he's not my father, that can't he talk to me. And he was almost getting angry, and I didn't want him to get angry, like, because I really, really hold him in high esteem. I was always afraid of him and everything. So I ate the food.
What food was that?
He told me to eat rice, and I told him that after so much persuasion, I ate the food. And after I ate the food, I just noticed that everything changed. I started taking to everything he asked me to do. If he says do this, without question, and I noticed that I was numb, sort of, and I was feeling dizzy. very uncomfortable. But I was helpless and I was powerless. That was how he had his way with me. Took advantage of me and slept with me.
That same day.
That same day.
How did he do it? He just undressed you or what?
He didn't undress me. Like I said earlier, that I was uncomfortable. I was numb. Everything he was telling me to do, I was doing it after I ate the food, because I was quite normal before I ate that food. Because it really took time for me to really sit down and like, what really happened? So after that, he was giving me instructions, do this, do that. I kept doing everything, and that was how he raped me. It was a rape. It was not like I consented with him. There was nothing like that. And after that, he told me that he should not be heard from me, that I should not tell anybody anything.
He said that to you?
Yes.
Was it like a threat or a plea?
It was a threat. That woman boruko eyan je and stuffs.
How did he say it in Yoruba?
Ṣé mo mọ̀ pé òjíṣẹ́ Ọlọ́run ni òun ò dẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ gbọ́ pé mo lọ sí ibì kan pé mo wá lọ sọ nǹkan kan fún ẹnìkan kan. Ṣé mo ti gbọ́? It sounded harsh. At the same time, he was trying to be subtle while saying it. So I was afraid and I left. And I couldn't even tell anyone.
Sorry.
Please, can I have a minute?
Sorry. Don't break down. Now, I've told you not to break down before this interview. I've told you not to break down. Sorry. Strong. You know, these things happened. It happens to people. It happens to a lot of women. And in most cases, it could be your own campaign. I've told you about other people who have gone through it. So, and I prepared your mind before this interview. You know, so try to just be courageous. Sorry. Just take it easy. Take it easy. It's gonna be okay. Let's continue. Just be courageous. Just for the sake of this broadcast, okay? So that day at Lesotho, that was what happened.
That was what happened.
And you couldn't just comprehend yourself. You couldn't get your bearing again. It was like you were under a spell.
Yes, it was like I've been hypnotized. I knew it couldn't have been me. Like, so he told me to leave and I left. I was devastated. I went back to see my fiancé that same day and I could not tell him anything. Because one, I knew we were very close to my introduction and our introduction, and
Sorry. Take it easy. Take it easy. You have to be strong. I know you're a young person. It's not easy when people break your heart. That's what happened. Just take it easy. And increase your voice. Sorry. And you couldn't just, you are not even free to tell him what happened.
He noticed something was wrong.
Okay.
He repeatedly asked me that what was the problem. He kept asking me, but I could not tell him because I was so afraid. I didn't know what he would do at that time, so I decided not to tell him anything. I was still not fine. Like, after so many days, I still was not myself. Not quite long. 3 weeks later, I discovered I was pregnant.
My God. Were you able to do that, your traditional marriage?
No.
So what happened? Before was it before that you discovered you were pregnant, or after that didn't take place?
After the incident.
Okay.
I couldn't tell him what has happened. And I felt so guilty that I was the one feeling guilty, actually. I wasn't supposed to feel that way, but I was feeling that it was all my fault, that if I had not gone there. So I could not even go further with anything anymore. Like, he would tell me, I started, especially when I discovered that I was pregnant. At that time, I could not. It was like the introduction and everything was not even
Flexible.
I didn't know how I was going to. So at that time, he was not asking me that what is the problem, that why my fiance was asking me that why am I not, what is really happening. I couldn't tell my parents anything any longer about the whole thing. So when I discovered that I was now pregnant, I called this man and I told him that, excuse me sir, this is what has happened.
Me following Macaulay.
Yes. The man just treated me like an animal.
How?
Just damned me over the phone that she mo fe ba ministry on Jenny.
That was what his response.
Yes, she mo fe ko ba on ni. That I should go and look for a way to sort it out and everything.
Thing that you told him in a humble way that daddy, I've missed my period. So he just trashed you on phone?
He just trashed me over the phone. So I went for it. He now told me that I had to look for a way to go and get rid of the pregnancy forcefully. And knowing fully well that I was about getting introduced and probably engaged at the same time, I didn't know what to do. I was confused.
You were totally confused.
I was totally confused. So I had to go and get rid of the pregnancy.
How was the experience?
It was painful.
How many weeks was that pregnancy then?
It was 3 weeks.
Can speak loud.
It was 3 weeks.
Okay.
It was 3 weeks. So after the whole thing, all of a sudden I saw his call again. But I noticed that ever since that first incident, he had a very strong hold on me. I'm not always able to turn back or resist or words. If he shouts at me, I'm not always able to. I can't even control myself around him. Like he has this strong hold on me, on my emotions. I can't. So when he came back, he was begging over the phone and he requested that he wanted to see me. He begged and begged. I told him I wouldn't see him, that after all he did to me, that there was no how I would see him. I never wanted to set my eyes on him. I started saying many things. He later said I should please. I now reluctantly said, okay, no problem. I was going to see him. I got there I was on my way with so much anger that I'm going to talk, I'm going to this, I'm going to that. I was so angry. But on getting there, I couldn't say anything.
You became calm again?
I became very calm.
You became calm again?
I became very calm.
Was it at Lesoke or another hotel?
It was another hotel.
Where this time around? You've forgotten?
I can't remember.
Okay. In Lagos?
Yes, Lagos. I became very calm. Very, very calm. And that was where he started telling me that he was sorry. He was prostrating several times. And I didn't even know what to say.
Prostrating, really? You really mean prostrating for you?
Yes, prostrating for me. That I was sorry. That is how, that was how it happened. So after he prostrated and everything, all of a sudden, that was when he now told me that what he did that day, he didn't just do it. He's sorry that he doesn't have a wife, that his wife died around January 20th, 2010, and ever since then he didn't have a wife, that he's sorry that he doesn't have anyone, that he has been alone all the while and everything, that what happened that day is not as if he just wanted to just take advantage of me, or that he wants to have a relationship with me, that he cares about me.
So you are confused again?
I was confused.
This is a man who gave you prophecy, you and your fiancé, and told your fiancé that he should marry you, that you are good.
Yes.
Now he want you for himself.
Yes. So after that, I became confused. At the same time, something had happened between I and this man. I could not go to tell my fiancé that this happened, and I saw it that it would not be cool for me to withhold that kind of thing. I wouldn't, if I tell him at the same time, it was going to destroy everything we ever had. So this man now came up with the issue of him wanting to have a relationship with me or a marriage or anything. So I told him then that, but you know who I am with. You know that I am getting married very soon. You know this, you know that. At that point in time, he now told me that I should go and end my relationship with the guy.
Was that an instruction or an order?
It was an order.
He gave you an order?
He gave me a straight order. And I couldn't turn back. I couldn't turn him around. I couldn't say no. I couldn't fight. I couldn't do anything. I just said, okay. He gave me money and I took the money. He was even the one who gave me the Uber money that I used to go and pack my things from his house.
Your fiance's house?
Yes. Because we're already building the home together. Let's build the home together and all. So I had so many of my things there, even the things we bought together. So I packed all those things. And when my fiance came back, he was like, what's happening there? He was confused. He called my parents. My parents were talking to me, and when I called Macaulay told me that I should tell him that I didn't want to be rushed. That why is he rushing me for marriage? So it was everything he told me that I was always doing. I know I was under a strong spiritual influence. I could not say no. I couldn't say yes. The second pregnancy came, and that was the same way he threatened me to abort the pregnancy.
How did it came? How did it slay with you this time around? Was it after you moved out of your fancy?
After I moved out of my fiance's house.
He gave you an appointment again?
He gave me an appointment.
Where? You forgot the hotel.
The name of the hotel, I think, is Santos. Santos, I think, is around.
Okay, Dokpemo.
Somewhere like that. Yes.
Around Dokpemo roundabout.
So he gave me another appointment again, and that is how things have been going on till led to the third pregnancy.
He also ordered you to remove the second one?
Yes.
Why?
I asked him. He said he has a very strong and influential. He's a strong and influential person. He doesn't want me to get pregnant. That people will talk. People with this. People will crucify him.
He doesn't want to get married to you with pregnancy.
Yes, that was what he said. And all the while, my mind never really left the other guy. I was always thinking. Sometimes I would ask him. I would tell him that but you know that this guy did not offend me. He would tell me that no, he would shout at me sometimes. So I was weak, I was helpless, I couldn't tell anybody anything.
Like just in a kind of a cocoon.
Yes, I was like in a cocoon, like in a cage, where I could not actually voice out to anyone because I know him. I knew. And let's take it back that this man was an arm robber for 20 years.
Jesus, you mean this Macaulay guy?
Yes, he
My
was
Lord.
an arm robber for 20 years.
He shared the information with you.
He has slept in Agodi in Ibadan before. He was a notorious arm robber. So all these things were the things that I knew I wasn't safe. Going out there to talk was really, really scary. So the only thing I could do was just keep quiet and just keep watching the movie. But in my mind, I knew that it was not like I really, really wanted anything to do with this man. I didn't even really see it like a relationship. So it was just like I was caged. So not quite long. After that time, I got pregnant again the third time. So when I got pregnant, he told me that I had to go again and remove the pregnancy.
The third time?
Third time.
That is killing. That is deadly.
I know, like, why again now? But this, you told me the other time. And then I always remember that I was always telling him that, look, that the process of abortion is not easy. It's painful, and I could lose my womb doing this continuous thing. That you should please that. Let's look for another alternative. And I was, I didn't even know what to do anymore. But because it was always what he wanted. If I say no like this, my manager. So I decided that, okay. He said this is what was going to happen. I had to go and terminate the pregnancy. He forced me, and this very day, a day to that day, I got to get some things to use, because that was what he said. I should look for a way to terminate pregnancy, and
he was even urging you.
Yes. So I got some things that I used. So 2 days after then, he told me that I should come and meet him around Apapa. He had a program. That's how he goes about for programs. Anytime he's going for his program, he's always taking me along. He will sleep with me before he goes for the program.
He will sleep in the hotel.
We still go to the people and
direct from on top of you to the altar.
Yes, and tell people that he's fasting.
He will still tell them in the congregation that he's fasting.
Yes.
After sleeping with you.
Yes.
My Lord Jesus Christ.
Because I've been privileged to see 1 or 2 clips like that he did, because he doesn't take me along.
The Lord said, "Me gbọ́dọ̀ break it. I'm having party. I'm having kurumbi."
The man of God must not break his fast until he leaves here.
Láti ìgbà tí mo ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ iṣẹ́ Olúwa.
Ever since the prophet has started the work of the ministry,
mi ò gbàwẹ̀ ó ní mi lára tó báyìí rí.
he has not fasted and it's been difficult for him.
Ó ní mi lára.
It was so difficult.
Agídí ni mo fi débí.
He got there by his force.
He comes back again and does the same thing.
After bathing, he will just shower and come on.
He will do the same thing. He has always done that. That is how it has always been. Anytime he's going for his program, he has to take me along, and he will camp me in the hotel and give me strict instructions that I must not go anywhere. So this very day, I went to meet him at Apapa. He told me that he's going for a program. That when it's 12 o'clock, I should check out of the hotel and go and wait for him at CMD. I went to CMD. I waited for him there. He came. After we left CMD, he said we were going to Ibadan. We went to Ibadan again. Before I was sleeping in the car, I was about waking up when he now told me that he got a message from God that I wants to go to and it was a Sunday. He got a message from God that he wants to go to the mountain to go and pray. That it is very important that I should go to his own house, because as of then I had known his house, I had met his children. He showed me his wife's burial ground, and there was nothing like there was another woman in the house at that time. Nothing like that. So which gave me the conviction that okay, this man is saying the truth. And I was looking at it that he will tell me that there's nothing I want to go and do at the other guy's house, she and I want to go and tell him the truth. That if I tell him the truth, he will not marry me, not tele. He will threaten me and put so much fears in my heart. So I won't say anything. When I now got to Ibadan and he told me that I should go to his house, I said from Apapa to CMD to Ibadan to your house. Okay, you are.
His house.
His house that is in Olodo in
Ibadan.
Yes. In Cocoa Estate, Olodo Bank, Cocoa Estate. That's where he stays. Kowope House. Beside Kowope House. That is his address. So when he now said I should go, I now said and I said, see, you want to leave me in that house all alone by myself? Like if you knew you were not going to stay at home, you should have left me in Lagos. Then people go to my own house. He now said, if you don't want to go to the house, don't go to the house now. Take money and go back to Lagos. I was not angry that from Apapa to CMD to Ibadan back to Lagos. That don't you? He chased me out of the car as if I was a nobody. Bole, as in
that God is telling him to go to the mountain and he has to ridicule you.
So I just collected
that you are his emotional partner.
I collected the key reluctantly and I was like, okay, no problem. I went to his house. But while I was there, my mom called me. I don't even know why she called.
Sorry. She told you to take it easy.
She called with prayers.
Your mom?
Yes, she was just praying for me. I didn't know why she was praying. She prayed really hard.
That's your mom?
My mom.
Was she getting a kind of intuition about your predicament?
She was like, what is happening? Why am I that she's having this feeling that I've been unstable about my relationship and everything. What is really happening? She kept asking me. I couldn't tell her. She just prayed for me. And I noticed that after the prayers, I just had this unrest in my spirit that I should leave the house. So I left. When I got to Lagos, I know they would have locked our gates.
It was in the night?
Because I left Ibadan like around past 9. So
in the night?
Yes.
So you left that house?
That night. After my mom.
Did you sleep over?
I didn't sleep over.
And he dropped you near the Oroke by what time?
He didn't drop me at any Oroke. He dropped me somewhere in Ibadan. I should take a bike or take a bus and go home.
Oh, Joshua. This man used his Zimboro to destroy this girl.
Aya.
Mashangwa, baba.
That's why I see.
When we
If you tell somebody that, as I said from the beginning, you can be the pastoration of your life to the promised land.
pastoration.
Yes, he will say it's a lie. Okay, since your life now, as you are till this moment, you have somebody you always run to. You have when you are from
Only
a
Jesus.
pastor.
You know the problem they use to get people is the prophecy.
That useless.
Because she mentioned it.
Yes,
She
nah.
said that people have been saying that his prophecies come to
Exactly,
pass. Is accurate.
All they want where they don't leak something. They don't leak before they enter. I know most of all this Yoruba fake pastors. They have on. That one is Yoruba. They call it Olugbon. You know it is.
Yeah, so they have a horn.
They say anything they talk.
They put honey in it.
Yes,
So
now
be
they use
leaking
that
from
thing,
there.
they leak it before they even enter church. Some don't wash eye. Some they don't collect information in Nigeria.
Yeah, they wash
Most of this Yoruba, they don't collect information. They already juju. It might be dead body water. They don't use it and wash their eyes. So they see things when they're looking at you. They see everything in your body
But
system.
they don't have a solution.
They know. They just talk rubbish and nothing for you. You understand?
You see the problem. You don't have solution.
Nothing. You understand? They will just tell you so many things. So from there, you pour bit. You say, "Oh, these people are real. That this, that, that this, that." Unknowing to you that they are using juju. It's not from God.
It can never be from God.
Anything they say is not from God. I suspected a lot of them. There was a time. I don't want to add this thing so that it will not elongate it.
Right.
I went to shoot in one street. So when at night I say, okay, let me and one guy go and buy something. The guy stays on the street. Yeah. As we can't see one church, Yoruba like all this one, big church. I saw Mopo, I saw police, I saw guy the one with the security for the pastor. I told the guy, say, this man wait there before God the man say this man will be fake pastor. He can never be original. He said, the man said, the guy said, did you know him before? I said, I know the kind of people. He now started narrating. Say that guy is a tout. Say he used to sell land for people. He's now because if he sell one land, he can sell one land to 5 people. They will now be fighting and nobody can stop him.
That's what this girl said now. She said this pastor was an armed robber before.
Yeah.
20 years. Armed robber. So he has repented. Armed robber. Now say he has repented, carry Bible. He now say God is speaking to him.
No. So anybody can repent.
My brother.
But not be.
See, there is still thief in his head. That thief that used to thief then is
He's
still in his
still
head. The lie is still in his
And
head.
like this.
It's hard for people to change their ways. It's very hard.
That's why they say no matter they cure grace.
There will still be an element of grace. Now, the juju he used for the girl, she came, gave her food, she ate, she didn't know what is happening. He's now telling her, put your pants, put this one. He raped her. Then he now told her to go and pack out of her fiance's house.
That's the juju they will.
And one thing she said again, anytime they are going for program, Baba will camp in a hotel.
With Mashangwa.
If Mashangwa go, you go and tell people in church that he has been fasting. That God has told him
not to bring
his
that is feeling pain. That I never felt pain like this before. Hey God.
Baba,
I think it's anointing.
It is the Mashangwa anointing.
I say if pastor come on pulpit now, well, if I go church program, if one is talking say I been fasting for so many days. I look at this idiot. When you say you're Mboro, you don't use the Mashangwa before you enter church. Get away you. Don't come.
You know the problem. Every time I go to church, I always say that I pray pastor. So it's hard for me to go to church now to concentrate because every time he says, I went to one of these new generation churches and the pastor was saying something. He was trying to explain obedience. In explaining obedience, he now linked it to Shekinah glory.
Hi, T.
I don't understand. He now linked it to Shekinah glory. He was not talking and confusing them. I was just looking, what the hell is this man saying? All these members, they were clapping. My brother.
Random, please. I've said it before. Please, you need to be watchful.
Be watchful.
You need to be watchful, be careful, the kind of place you put your head. I beg you, don't listen to any prophet that prophesy. Don't ever. Either the person is real or not. Because you wouldn't, because out of 100, I swear, 99.9.
Even when they give you real prophecy, they have done something.
Yes, now that is the truth.
They have gone to wash their eye. Wash their eye. Use something tumbo to see into your life.
Child.
To destroy your life.
It is well.
Don't fall for them. They are all charlatans and criminals.
Big time.
Criminals. In the Bible, have you seen anything? Go and check if you see anything called pastor in the Bible. Check. Anybody watching this video, go and check whether you see pastor. The word pastor, check. Nonsense. Check all the Bible.
No, I say there is a part that say he gives some.
There is rabbi. Rabbi is a teacher. Then there is a prophet. Prophet is prophet. Why is the prophet own church?
That is it. A prophet is not supposed to own a church. It's not your beauties at all. It's not your work at all.
Let the rabbi teach the word of God.
More, can we do that episode on
exactly? We'll run that episode on his own. Just hold on. You watch the episode. Thank you guys for watching this episode. We don't want to tell you anything again. Go and do this. Go and do that. We've been talking. Subscribe to this. Do this. But we have a backup channel. Go there, subscribe, and don't forget, guys. Question everything. It's boring.